My wife, without warning, randomly abandoned me to go find herself. When she comes back, I'm making sure she finds herself some divorce papers. My wife Mary's family has a history of memory problems called dementia. It happens when people have trouble remembering things. Her mom, grandmother, and other people on her mom's side of the family got dementia when they were in their 50s or 60s. Mary's mom lived with us for 4 years until earlier this year because her dad had died. Our kids are grown up and don't live at home anymore. Our oldest daughter is finishing college, and our younger one joined the military. Those 4 years were hard for us, our kids, and our marriage. Taking care of someone with dementia is really tough. We talked a lot last year about using the money we saved for college, some other money we saved, and selling or renting our house. Then we could stop working, travel for a while, and enjoy life. We just had to wait for Mary's mom to move into a special place for people with memory problems. I was tired from taking care of her mom, and Mary was worried about getting dementia herself. Dealing with COVID, working from home, and taking care of our family was stressful. When Mary's mom finally moved out, I thought things would get easier. But Mary started feeling really sad. She was worried and felt bad about putting her mom in a special home. We planned to start traveling in the summer of 2024. 2 months ago, I came home and found a note from Mary saying she was leaving on our trip without me. She quit her job, took most of our savings, and didn't say when she'd come back. She thought I'd understand. She didn't tell me where she was going and wouldn't answer my calls. I showed the note to our kids. We both had our own bank accounts for our paychecks, but we put most of our money into a joint account to pay for things we both needed. We both could use the savings account. We had credit cards for things like groceries and bills, and we shared them. We both owned our cars and our house together. We also had our own separate savings accounts, retirement accounts, and credit cards for fun things. I closed all the joint accounts and cards. I waited for a month, hoping she'd come back before spending all our savings. She only sent one text during that time. Then I went to see a lawyer. She said there wasn't much to do right now, except change who gets my retirement money and life insurance if I die alone. My wife won't get anything else. It was only a month, so we couldn't send her legal papers yet. My lawyer told me to keep paying for our house and cars. Trying to sell our things with the judge's approval would cost more than just paying the bills. I didn't want our car to be taken back by the bank and hurt my credit, but I couldn't sell it because she's on the paperwork too. Sometimes she sends random texts, and she posts on Instagram once in a while, but she doesn't let anyone comment. I really want to block her, but my lawyer said it's better to keep a way to talk to her that's not through our kids. Her last post was from Hawaii. She wrote in the comments about how great I was for letting her go on this trip. I'm struggling to pay for everything, 2 cars, our house, bills, insurance. I hope nothing goes wrong because I have no savings left. And she's having fun on our trip. It's frustrating. I'm so mad at her. I took care of her mom for 4 years, and then I helped her when she was upset about her mom moving to a special home. And now she's left me. I won't be able to take this trip, and I'll have to work longer before retiring. The only comfort is that our kids are mad at her too, but they might forgive her eventually. It's so frustrating. I'm not stupid. She's probably with other guys. She looks good, so she won't have trouble finding someone. I texted her and asked if she's seeing other people, but she didn't respond for a week, and then she said she wasn't. Sure, whatever. So, here I am, drinking alone on a Friday night, and she's probably on a beach somewhere, enjoying herself. It's really frustrating. Update 1. My lawyer told me a lot of things I could do, but there's too much to fit in here. I could push harder on this problem, and I might have to later on. But all that work costs a lot of money. Finding her, giving her legal papers, and getting a judge's approval isn't cheap. I'll check back with my lawyer soon, and I want to talk about our savings and my money. It didn't hit me until I paid all the bills and saw how little was left that I needed to worry about money. Relevant comments. When she says, "Thank you for letting me go on this trip," it's like she's saying, "I'll come back to our marriage once I'm done being single." But when she returns, I'll say, "Welcome back, but it's time for us to part ways." She's totally convinced that she can come back to our marriage. She's been talking to our daughter, who thinks I'll forgive her. Ask your daughter to tell her that you're filing for divorce because she abandoned you. Maybe that will make her realize how serious this is. It's not great to involve the kids like this, but they need to support you. You could even tell her that they'll cut her off too if she keeps doing this to the family. You might also consider posting about how she's living it up while leaving you in a tough spot. People probably think you're okay with this if you don't tell them what's really going on. She only hears what she wants to hear. I asked her for an address to send legal papers, but she just said we'll talk about it when she comes back, which I won't stand for. Our daughter tells her how much pain she's causing, but she just says she only has 5 to 10 years left before she might get dementia. But who knows if she'll even get dementia. Shouldn't she be spending this time with her family? Update 2. I'm feeling better now about money. It's still a bit tight, but I've got some time before things get really tough. My plan is to sell the house to pay off the debt I've been piling up. Even with the lawyer fees, I've got 6 to 8 months to sort things out, as long as nothing unexpected happens. My friend's wife gave me some good advice. She said, "Don't go from being a hero to a villain in your kids' eyes." How I talk about and treat my wife will affect my relationship with my kids. I might not care much about my wife, but I don't want to make her seem too bad to the kids or push them away from both of us. I talked to the lawyer again, and she explained that we'll make my wife pay back the money she took from our savings by giving her less of our stuff. She'll also have to give back the money I spent on keeping things going while she was away. Luckily, there's enough money in the house and her retirement plans to cover that. The lawyer said that since we've been married for almost 25 years, we're pretty tied up financially. My wife will definitely get some of our things. The best scenario is if she agrees to the divorce terms, then it won't cost too much or take too long. If not, things could get complicated and expensive. She gave me lots of choices and told me how much it might cost, so I'm just going to wait and see for now. I got a couple of credit cards that give me a bit of extra money and time to pay off what I owe. It helps me not worry too much about cash for now. I'll pay them back when I sell the house. Now that things are a bit less stressful, I'm enjoying having the house to myself. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. No cooking, no cleaning, no looking after anyone. The house is quiet, which is a big change. I did love my wife, but her being away has made things easier. Her mental health was really tough on our marriage. Overall, it was worth it until now. At first, I kept expecting her to be there when I got home. Every little noise made me think she was back. I was always checking the doorbell camera. I'm not excited about her coming back. It has to happen, but it's going to be a lot to deal with. The divorce, getting the house ready to sell, dividing up our stuff, finding a new place to live. I hope she stays away until after New Year's, but my daughter thinks she might be back for Christmas, either to visit or to stay. My lawyer will be ready with the papers to give her. Hopefully, she'll just agree to the terms and keep traveling. People gave me some really helpful advice. Deciding whether to rent or sell the house isn't really doable right now. It needs fixing up before I could do either. Plus, considering all the expenses, rent, mortgage, new apartment rent, storage unit, it doesn't seem worth it. My kids' rooms are still full of their stuff, and I don't want to spend time clearing them out and putting everything in storage. Considering a HELOC, home equity line of credit, was smart advice. I didn't realize I could get one without my wife. If I need more money, I can go that route. But for now, the promo rates on credit cards were cheaper and easier for me. Serving my wife divorce papers or getting a divorce without her being present might be something I have to think about later on. But the legal fees for that kind of situation can get really high. For now, I'm okay with waiting. I checked the phone bill to see where my wife might be going. I noticed she doesn't post on social media until after she's left a place. Like when she posted about Hawaii, she made a call that day from Los Angeles. She posted about a cruise, and I figured out the dates, but it ended a couple of days before she posted. She tried to add international calling to her line, but I blocked it, so she removed her phone from our account. Relevant comments. I'm so upset for you. It's just unbelievable how she's acting like your husband is some saint for letting her take this trip. Honestly, part of me hopes she'll be back for Thanksgiving because I want her to see everything fall apart. She's told her family she won't be back for Thanksgiving, but nobody mentioned that my daughter and I are spending it with her family. She'll see our posts having a good time without her. Please change the locks on the house so she can't just come back in whenever you're out. I'm furious for you. I've been married for 23 years, and if my husband did this to me, nobody could stop me from confronting him. She left her keys. I changed the code on the security system, the passphrase, and password. I also found a new spot to hide the emergency key we kept in the backyard. So she's just going to spend all the money and then expects you to take her back and care for her when she's older? That seems to be her plan, but it's not mine. Update 3. Not much has changed. Went to the in-laws with my daughter for Thanksgiving. It went well. Everyone was kind and tried to apologize for their daughter, sister, cousin, and niece. I told them it's not their fault, and I just appreciated them welcoming us. It meant a lot to my daughter to be there. Update 4. Got a text from the wife saying she'll be in town for Christmas. Lawyers said the papers are ready, so she can be served. It's like an early Christmas gift.